Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1367 of our daily content grind. It is Monday, it is time for a news roundup, catching you up on everything that happened in Transformers for the last week. And yeah, that excludes the Mark Marr interview that had so much information. We talked about that earlier. Today we have to focus on all the new stuff that dropped, and Takara decided, here's everything. Here's everything that goes all the way into, January as far as our release schedule is concerned. So we've got tons and tons of stock images of upcoming toys, including the first time we've seen a bunch of these things. So we're going to take a look. And that starts with the official images for the Shield D Prime. We've only seen prototypes of it so far. Now we see the full production version. And this thing is absolutely beautiful for what it is. Remember, this is a Synergenics project that combines Transformers, Zoids, and Diaclone Reboot. That last one will be very important later, but it also explains a lot of the functionality that is going on here. For instance, the bike that can ride up and actually store inside the Zoid. That's a thing that Diaclone likes to hide in there. The Bullet Core is the cockpit of Diaclone Reboot toys. Whether or not that's interchangeable with the past toys, I'm not entirely sure, but they usually are. And then the back side of this becomes this big jet that can also be like a beam cannon weapon. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got some Diaclone functionality in here that should make it cross-compatible with some other Diaclone toys. That would be the hope, anyway. Because that's the whole point of that toy line, is mixing and matching parts and coming up with your own combinations. Yeah, but the toy itself looks fine. I mean, I do have grievances with how big Optimus's chest is and how thin his arms and legs tend to be in comparison. The proportions seem weird, but they're what they need to be for the Shield Liger, so I'm not going to be too harsh on it. Does have lights. I think that's a little unnecessary for how much is already going on, but it's got lights. Yeah, I feel like this is one of those franchises where, these two have coexisted for so long. Why have there never been Transformer Zoids? Why was that not a thing before now? And I feel like they could have gone a lot farther with it. I do feel like incorporating the Diaclone stuff does hold it back, especially incorporating things like the Bullet Core and the pilots. But pilots are a thing of Zoids, so that was always going to be a thing. If you wanted pure Transformer Zoids crossover experience, then you probably could have had a much more pure toy that was released that would have been a little bit more clever in how it functioned. But this serves a point, and this serves a purpose for everything that is going on. So, okay, I will accept it for now. But how cool of a crossover this is, and how much you personally like the aesthetic of it, is not the talking point. The talking point is that this is going to be released February 28th, 2026 for a retail price of $269. Transformer people, Zoids people, those who are unfamiliar with the Diaclone Reboot line, we tried to warn you. Diaclone Reboot is exceptionally expensive, because the detail and engineering that goes into it is extraordinary, and thus, because of how that toy line is engineered, a lot higher quality plastic than usual. So you've got a lot of extra cost to get thrown into Diaclone Reboot, and mixing that in means, yeah, this is going to be expensive too. We warned you about that. You didn't believe us. Well, now you do. So this going to end up being a premium collector piece. Unfortunately, $269 prices me out of something like this. It takes it from a really super cool, that's a really cool, historic piece of these two franchises coming together. I would really like that, to I like that it exists, but I do not need it to exist in my presence. Yeah, I wish the Diaclone thing wasn't in there. I think the transformation could have been more creative, and I think the toy would have been way cheaper, but it is what it is. So there'll be people who I'm sure will be thrilled with it no matter what. It's still cool that it exists, though. Let us get into the stock photo dump that they have for upcoming toys, starting with their reveal of 86 Megatron. We have an official reveal from Takara before we have one of Hasbro, which is a little bit silly. Now there's a fan stream that's happening, I believe, tomorrow. So that does mean 86 Megatron will probably make an official debut. I don't know what else they're going to announce there. There's a lot of things up in the air for Transformers right now. A lot of those leaked listings give us an idea of what they could reveal. But we will do a video of it. We'll do a recap like we always do. The interesting thing to note here is that this Megatron has no issues with his color. Like, the gray is a little bit warmer. There's like a little slight bit of tint to it. And the legs are not blue. They're just flat gray. And he looks way better. This Megatron looks way better. We don't know if it's a lighting thing or what, but like Takara typically does not change their releases from the Hasbro ones anymore, because that requires multiple production runs to be done. They don't really like that. You know, they're better. It's cheaper for everybody involved. They just run everyone's toys at the same time, and Takara just gets different packaging done. I don't know. We might get an exception here where Takara has opted for something more screen accurate and get rid of the blue. Why did you add the blue? If there is a real change and not just a lighting difference and not just a weird, like, that's just how the early leaked version was, the main version will fix it. We don't know. And we probably won't know until Hasbro makes some kind of official statement on the color. Looks better in tank mode without the blue, I'll say that. And there's the gun, the individual Megatron accessory gun. Yeah, if this is how he comes out, I'd be way, way more into it. Like, I'm already way into it because I think it's an extremely impressive job that they've accomplished. And, you know, I think the engineering accomplishment is something to be celebrated. But I would really, really like it without the blue legs. So, if there really is a difference between Hasbro and Takara Megatrons, I might import this thing. We will see. Takara also showed off the official images for their upcoming dramatic capture set, which includes Thundercracker and Reflector, based on a scene from the original More Than Meets the Eye episodes. No retooling in these, obviously. There never is. It's just straight repaints, and they've made Reflector mostly just more cartoon accurate, which is cool to see. You can really see here where, like, the Siege Greeble really separates him from, like, a lot of the more modern, like, toon accurate designs. I still like me some Reflector. I like how much attention to detail went on this, and I love that they're including the extra camera bits that the toy accurate version had. Or even painting the lens on the inside of the guns. That's cool. I like this. So, I don't know if I'm going to go for this set just because of Reflector. The random Kremzik is kind of funny. I don't know why they felt the need to throw him in. There is part of me that would really like a really, really solid Reflector, but I don't know if I want to pay that much for just like a really pretty version of him. The Thundercracker I have no use for whatsoever. I think the Hasbro release of that one was fine. The interesting thing here is it's called Decepticon Part 1. That's the name of the pack, meaning there's at least one more pack in the future which will probably complete the original Seekers with a Skywarp. Who else he comes with? Not really sure right now. Skywarp, I don't recall any episodes where he really associates with anything or anyone other than the other Seekers. So what they do for that is kind of curious. So we will wait and see. I think it's more to the point, like, most Decepticons have been in dramatic capture at this point. You know the funniest thing in the world they could do? A dramatic capture Skywarp that also includes Bombshell and Cyclonus, just to mess with people who are trying to figure that one out. Honestly, it's probably gonna be Skywarp and the Insecticons in cartoon accurate colors, which means Bombshell gets to be gray. I think that's about the only bet I can think of at the moment. They showed off their stock photos of the upcoming Studio Series Constructicons, Mixmaster, and Scavenger. So we get good looks of them now. Scavenger looks like his diaper needs to be changed. That That pelvis is low and swinging. I'm not sure the proportions there. That feels like that wasn't really... Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. I'm uncomfortable at that. Now, if you didn't notice it before, you can't unsee it. You're welcome. Yeah, the backhoe mode looks fine. All that is fine. We do finally get a good look at a completed Devastator now. I will say he looks a little bit short in the legs. I don't think seeing him in color has fixed that. I do know that the knees are higher up than they originally seemed, because they're not coming straight off of the robot legs. They are part of the thigh piece. But yeah, I'm not entirely sold on this Devastator. Yeah, I think proportionally he's off. I don't mind the wide chest. It's just the legs look a little bit too squat, and the figures that make up the legs look a little scrawny. I think I would have preferred them to be bulked up a little bit. I don't even I don't even care about the big back. I don't even care about that. Like, it's really just like a proportionally, like, that looks a little bit better, but it's still a little bit odd. I still think his legs looks too stubby. Yeah, I just don't, I think Scrapper and Mixmaster are just too small. Now, those are Voyagers. I would have taken them being a little bit bigger than the rest of the team, even, even despite accuracy. And then Mixmaster we have seen before. It's nice that he's the traditional truck, not the reverse that they did for the previous release. He looks fine as an individual release. Probably not going to be my favorite of the Constructicons, but good to see my childhood favorite getting a decent figure. Okay, moving on. Missing Link. So we've seen the molds before, but now they are in an animation accurate deco and sculpt. So we have new sculpts on both of these guys to make them much more accurate to how they looked in the cartoon. Here's your comparison shots. Bumblebee has a warmer shade of yellow, as well as a cartoon accurate sigil rather than the silver trimmed one. Obviously the head, the biggest change. And then yeah, Cliffjumper is mostly just a repaint. It doesn't look like his head got the resculpting thing, but okay. He still looks fine. I like the translucent blue for the windshields a little bit better than I like the black. Like, he does look neat. Not going to be for me. But I think at this point we pretty much know that if they come out one way, they're always going to come out the other. It seems like the thing for Missing Link is they're going to release both toy accurate and cartoon accurate versions. So keep that in mind when you're buying Missing Link. Like, if you would prefer that Bumblebee come with his cartoon head, or if you preferred that Cliffjumper have gray for his arms and legs, hold off. And I would say the next time they announce a Missing Link figure, if you see one but not the other, just expect the other. You will get it eventually. So, a little bit of mindful buying from now on. I do like the forearms being yellow. Like this, it is fun. I think I said, like, the same way I like the G1 reissues Hasbro started doing that had the show accurate colors. I kind of like seeing like the old style Bumblebee done up as close as possible, because we've seen that new head on the old body before. We have not seen it like properly painted with like the dark gray legs and arms, the forearms being yellow. That's new, so that actually makes it kind of cool. Not cool enough for me to double dip, but cool. MPG releasing their take on Hauler, the former Constructicon who made a ghost appearance in the original episode of the show. It's a weird character that I always kind of wish would get fleshed out a little bit, because it's such a random character to exist entirely by accident, and we've never gotten an official word exactly why he exists. We have only had speculation, so kind of cool that they are, doing something with him. I like that it's also not strictly Constructicon green. It's actually it's a little closer to the green-yellow spectrum, which in G1 was one appearance. He was yellow. He was grapple yellow. So this is kind of getting a little bit closer to that. This is another one where price point is deterring a lot of people. MPG wants over $200 for this one, and for a repaint of a Masterpiece figure, and sort of a low-rent character that's more curiosity than anything, that does seem extremely high. Yeah, I don't remember Inferno or Grapple being nearly that expensive. But for the obscure fans out there, you do have a new one out there. Oh, and hey, technically our first Masterpiece Constructicon, so take that reality for what you will. Let's move on to Studio Series Transformers 1, where we see the Starscream mold for the very first time. And it's looking pretty good. It is looking pretty good. I like that all the weapons can face forward like they did in the movie. He's got additional weapons, which are a little bit weird. The weapon, like his forearm, his right-hand gun, kind of just looks like the things that come off his arms for the null rays. It's like just like a pistol version of it. It's actually the tail fin, which is a little bit odd. And then he gets the gun that's underslung for him too. Yeah, it's actually a really neat design for like a deluxe Starscream. And you know, it's a deluxe Starscream mold. They are going to abuse this. We're going to get so many repaints of this. I'm down for it too, because like this thing looks really, really neat. I would take this in a bunch of different color schemes. Yeah, like it doesn't look like they did a bad job at all. Not a bad job at all. I quite like it. You know, I wish there was more to say, but like, you know, it's just, yeah, it's a neat deluxe. You know, I kind of like that it's like a cream white instead of just like off-white or gray. That's a little bit different for Starscream. They also showed off Elita 1, like we haven't seen this toy for the last year and a half as it is. But to Takara, it's new. Takara hasn't teased this release and delayed it forever. You know, and again, she looks neat. You know, like, she doesn't look like she has a whole lot of kibble to her, which is good. The bike mode does look really nice and solid. I like that a lot. You know, still a very, very cool figure. I don't know why it's taken so long to get it out. The movie is like, the movie's gonna be like free on Amazon by the time the US gets this figure. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous that this toy was announced so far ahead of when it's actually coming out. And or was delayed for so long. Either or, like, good to finally see it at least. It's good to know it's on the way. And she does still look really good. Just took a long time but to complete the core cast of that movie, which is interesting considering the core cast is 4 characters. Little weird. Speaking of 4 characters, give me a minute. Hang on. Did I? Okay. Okay. No. Where is it? Oh, wow. Okay. So my preview's messed up. I thought there was a different one coming up next. Okay. No. We're going to stay with Takara. Okay. In-hand shots of the new Wild King toys. And we focused on the little ones. So we're mostly just kind of focusing on our new Energy Masters. Here's Nemesis Prime looking pretty good. He doesn't do anything weird with the color scheme the way Optimus Prime does. I'm getting like very Grand Scourge color vibes off of him. The new ones that the names are escaping me right now because the bull is weird. We've seen a lot of this before. This is just nice in-hand shots, so I don't want to focus on it too much, but it's still looking good. Our Shadow Megatron looks really good as well. Black, purple, and gold is such a good color scheme. You're not going to get that wrong. Like, he looks amazing. Yeah, Frost Saber, I remember the name of. Good shot of the head sculpt. I like that he's got, like, he's got fangs coming off his helmet, wrapping his cheeks, and then he has actual fangs. That's a little overkill. Someone's way too into their vampires. This is Frost. Is this, what is this? I'm getting the names crossed now. I need to just stop just like throwing random words out there and hoping I'm right. I just need to admit, like, I don't remember. They look really cool though. I'm down for it. Look how well that matches. That makes me want all of them in like black and purple, so they can just combine and match. Abyss Rain, Lava Mulator, and Frost Saber. There you go. They look so good. I wish these weren't so hard to get. There's three. I've got pre-orders for the 2 new 2-packs, but I missed 3 of the Energy Beasts. So that'll be fun to go back and get at some point. One more for Studio Series, this one not provided by Takara, but someone has their hands on the upcoming Widowmaker. This is just a turnaround shot. We don't really get anything else, just to show you like how the toy and character works. Looks like she does have a lot of vehicle mode kibble, but it's hanging off the back of her shoulder guards, so it kind of hangs like a cape or like a double scarf or something, so like it's not bad. I've seen worse out of Studio Series, and then it looks like the back half of the vehicle is just all in the legs. I like the unique design. I like the unique design of her. I'm not entirely sure it's one that I would break my, like, boycott of this toy line for. It's not a boycott, it's just a general lack of interest. It's interesting, though. I think it's fascinating that a almost in the movie character is getting a brand new toy. That opens up a lot of possibilities of characters who didn't make it to the movies, but still produce something really cool. I feel like this is like a testing the waters type release. Like, if they can get away with doing Widowmaker, then they could get away with doing weirder things, like, you know, like Transit, DevCon. Like a lot of those designs that were either very, very briefly in the movies or had to get skipped altogether. So we'll see how Widowmaker turns out. She looks like she's going to be fine. She looks like she's going to be fine for Studio Series. So, Amazon shipped out everybody's Wreck and Doom collection, and this is Top Spin and Spinister. I was not under the impression that these hadn't been photographed, because I got mine days ahead of when this was an actual news story, which is a little bit, should have paid attention to that. Could have been on the front page. Oh well. Point being, the disappointment here in this 2-pack is the fact that the Target Masters are just repaints of the previous ones, because they don't really want to bother sculpting anything new for sets like this, unless they have to. Spinister does look great. I'm glad he comes with his imitations of his Target Masters, as well as his original guns, makes them very heavily accessorized. And then that Top Spin is just amazing, you know? I need to dig up my Twin Twist. I need to dig up the matching Twin Twist, but I love Top Spin in these colors. Like, I think that toy is still absolutely fantastic. Absolutely great figure. If you have not picked up either of these toys, they are both really, really good. That is a set I wholeheartedly recommend. I was going to go with a different word. We'll stick with that. Yeah. Wish I would have known. I could have been on the front page. Oh, well. Target saw what Takara was doing and said, no, we want to show off things. So they showed off their new upcoming 4-pack, and I don't think this one's going to head to clearance like the other ones did, because this one actually seems like it's doing a lot of really, really good things. So for you know, yeah, this is, so it's beautiful. I'm just gonna say that. It's the white Optimus Prime as Ultra Magnus, and I love seeing that. I have nostalgia for that one, so I'm really happy they're doing that. They're doing Bumper. They're actually doing Bumble Jumper, a brand new mold. Well, no, not a brand new mold, but it's getting a brand new figure. It's based off the 86 Bumblebee, which is a good toy. And yeah, like, I'm really happy the Bumper's actually getting a new figure, because I didn't think that was ever going to be possible. Horrible as a heavy retool of Skull Cruncher from Titan's Return. Has the Headmaster gimmick and all. Cool to see that a lot more of the smaller Headmasters from later G1 are getting figures. I don't think there's many left at this point. And then the animated Nemesis, which is a really, really cool figure to actually redo. Comes with the Battle Mask head instead. Looks really, really cool. Vehicle modes all look really solid. Now in vehicle mode, that bumper is going to just straight up look like a Bumblebee. There's no avoiding that. Everyone else looks cool. Like, even like Horrible does a passing job of looking like a Monster Bull. Like, I can still see some of the Skull Cruncher in there, but he's doing a decent enough job. I think he's doing a better job than some of the others attempting. Like, I think it's doing better than Squeeze Play did. Still cool that those Titan's Return figures are still viable to release, because those are really, really good toys. Now, Target showed off a lot more than that, aside from just, you know, a really cool Versus pack. Now, which I'm actually very excited for. I actually pre-ordered this one because I absolutely want to make sure I get it. they showed off the rest of their More Than Meets the Eye collection, which is apparently their new little subline to replace Buzzworthy Bumblebee. And they're starting it off with basically running back Gamer Edition Optimus and Megatron. And this is a mold they absolutely should run back because this is a fantastic figure. It was one of my toys of the year when the original mold came out. If you didn't get the chance to get it, please pick up this release. You owe it to yourself. It's a really, really good toy. They've updated the deco a little bit, like the windows being black, etc. Just a little bit of a change so you can tell the releases apart. The same is true of the Megatron. There are a few deco differences, but for the most part, it is the same figure. I'm not as thrilled with this one as I am the Optimus, but it's good that people get a second chance, because I don't think this one was seen on shelves for a long time either. We are getting an individual release for the Earth Mode Sideswipe from the War for Cybertron trilogy. It is Devastation inspired, so you do have the anime windows going on, the heavy light glow on it, but it looks beautiful. It's no battle damage. It's essentially just a rerun of that previous Earthrise. Yes, Earthrise Deluxe, Kingdom Deluxe actually. Kingdom Deluxe, but you don't have to buy the Beast Wars second Skywarp along with it. So that's going to be great for the people who missed it the first time, because I know people wanted them to run that mold back. And then there's another Wheeljack. He has anime lights on his windshields as well. He's got the light reflections. But otherwise, he's pretty much just another run of this mold. I'm amazed this mold has survived. But hey, it's still a decent enough mold. So, and we know from the leak listings we're getting another one who's probably just going to be corpse. Speaking of running molds back, we have a look at what's going to end up being our San Diego Comic-Con 2025 exclusive, at least one of them. This is the Void Rivals set, which comes with Darak and Solila, the main characters from the book, as basically G.I. Joe's standard style figures. And then obviously a rerun of Siege Jetfire, now in cartoon accurate coloration, which does look nice and pretty. I don't know if it's enough of an upgrade for me to switch out, because that's going to be a very expensive release. But kind of cool that they're not shying away from those big SDCC releases. I miss those really big, super cool ones. This one I'm probably skipping on, but I know Void Rivals has a lot of fans, so cool for them. And cool for anyone who missed out on that Jetfire, because that is a really, really good figure in general. A little bit of an update from Takara on this one. So they did officially delay this Lio Convoy's release. It was I think it was supposed to be out last month, and then it came and went. So they have apologized for that, and now they have announced it will release in late August 2025. No real explanation as to why it got delayed. And there still is none, but at the very least we have a general idea of when it is actually coming out. So goody for me, because my wallet has been hurting lately, so I really could not have absorbed this as well. But I do want the nicer one, the more screen accurate one, the one that doesn't have a derpy lion face. So there you go. We just got to wait a little bit longer now. To pass the time, you could spend 5 minutes of your life taking in the new episode of Wild King that has debuted. I'm still waiting for them to hit a certain point where it feels like it's appropriate for me to do another rundown of the episodes, just for everyone who wants to catch up on them. There are fan subs as well, so you could watch those too. Though I don't even know where those are. Honest, and I'm being genuine. I don't know who posts those. But there's really not a whole lot of strong story to follow. I think you can follow it just with context clues mostly. It's your fun little adventure things. Nothing too big of a deal. And to wrap up a very long news roundup, YOLO Park doing more Transformers merchandise based on Transformers 1 and Rise of the Beasts, as well as G1. So you've got your keychain lanyards, you got your acrylic standees, fridge magnets, your buttons, more magnets, more lanyards. I actually have this one already. They already sent me one of these. This is actually neat. The matrix in the middle spins. Matching magnets, that's actually kind of neat. Yeah, just little niche things, you know, like doing, like, whatever they can do with the license, they seem like they are doing. You want a notebook for transfers? You got a notebook. Here's round pins. You like round pins? You got those too. Stickers. Like, they sent me these months ago. You're telling me that they sent me advanced product and they didn't even tell me? I got one of these. I got one of the Megatron standees already too. Yeah, they're doing a ton of stuff. They're doing a ton of stuff for anyone who's interested in these. Oh yeah, so wait a minute. Where is it? Now I gotta hang on. I gotta find the right one now. It's gotta be in here. Everything else is in here. Hang on. Just something in my head's like, I need to prove this. I need to prove it. I'm not seeing what I need to see. I can't prove it. Nah, well. Whatever, I know I have it. So, that's going to be it for the news roundup. Very long one this time because, yeah, there's a lot of news this week, as it turns out. Takara just went nuts with release info. So, I hope you enjoyed. Hope you're now caught up. And as always, I will see you next time.
Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a Tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.